guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to talk about our 10 most anticipated movies for 2024. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I am. Yeah, these are always really fun because we don't share them with each other ahead of time. So I'm excited to see what's on your list.
Yeah, and these are always weird videos to make just because we don't know the full landscape of 2024. So I'm sure there's going to be stuff that comes out that we don't know about yet or we don't have a lot of details on.
Yep.
It could be a completely different list when we get to next year and we're deciding our favorites. But before we get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about movies, TV shows, entertainment, news, live streams every Monday.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of stuff, hit the subscribe button. And then leave us a comment down below. What's your most anticipated for the year of 2024? We would like to hear about it.
Let's get into our number 10. So I'm going to go first. My number 10 is Godzilla. Is it Godzilla? Is it X Kong? Is that how you say it? Or is it just like Godzilla?
I think it's Godzilla X Kong.
Okay. Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. I put this at number 10 just because the last Godzilla movie I don't remember loving. But I don't know if this is is this one related to those or is it its own thing?
Oh, it's related. Yeah, it's a direct sequel to Godzilla.
Okay.
Was it Godzilla versus Kong? Was that the last one?
I honestly can't remember.
I think it was Godzilla versus Kong. We watched it on HBO Max.
It had the girl from Stranger Things, right?
Yeah. I think it's the same director too. Adam Wingard's directing it. Number 10 is you're gonna kill me when I say this. My number 10 is Twisters.
Okay.
Out of morbid curiosity for what exactly they're going to do. I remember I gave this spot to, I think, Exorcist Believer last year.
Okay.
Just because I'm such a fan of the original. I'm such a fan of the first Twister. I'm just curious of what this is going to be, what it's going to look like, and I am going to see it. But I'm going in very pessimistic.
Why are you saying I'm going to kill you?
Because we did that. We talked about this on the live stream on Monday.
I was going to say
which if you're not checking out our Monday live streams, do that.
So I should think that wouldn't be on your list at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we talked about it and I was very, not so nice to that movie when we talked about it Monday. But it's on my top 10 most anticipated just because I just want to see what it looks like. Like, what are they doing with it?
Okay.
All
right. So my number 9 is Gladiator II. I don't even honestly remember the first Gladiator that well.
Yeah.
But
let's rewatch it. It's a great movie.
But it is, oh my gosh, Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott, yeah.
Ridley Scott is doing it. I do really enjoy his films, and so that alone is enough of a reason for me to put it on my list. I'm just kind of curious to see what it'll be like. We still need to see Napoleon. Hopefully that's coming out soon for us to watch at home.
Yeah.
But Gladiator 2.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why you have that on there. The Last Duel was really good. So he showed that he can still operate within this medieval world time period. So I'm looking forward to that too. It might be on my list.
Okay.
But coming in at number 9 is a movie. I don't know if you heard of this movie. It's called Shelby Oaks.
No.
This is one that is directed by Chris Stuckman, who is a YouTuber that reviews movies. You've seen some of his reviews.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This movie's been in development for I think 3 years maybe.
Interesting.
It's supposed to come out this year. That's the last I heard. Maybe it gets pushed to 2025. It doesn't have a concrete release date, but I'm just curious we've seen the YouTubers break out and do movies before with Talk to Me. But this is a YouTube critic that has talked about movies on YouTube since I think 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Is making his own movie. It's a horror movie. He's a huge fan of the genre. So I'm just excited to see and curious to see what he does with this.
That's very cool.
I am looking forward to this one. Yeah. Shelby Oaks.
Okay. So my number 8 is Despicable Me 4.
Okay.
If you watched our list last year, which I'm just going to go ahead and say it. We already talk about this all the time, but my list typically are better than Ken's. And I feel like my list usually reflect what ends up being good movies.
Yeah.
Last year, my most anticipated was Mario, and I ended the year still high on that movie, and it stayed at my number 1. And so Anyway, I got to give the animated movies some love because I always love having options.
Illumination's been doing good. I mean, they've been hitting better than Pixar, I think.
Yeah. So I just like to have options in the theater for us to go as a family. And I mean, come on, Despicable Me. Like, you can't go wrong. Steve Carell. You know,
I can't remember the third one. We watched the third one, but I can't remember the third one. I don't even think we watched the recent Minions movie. We need to check that out.
No, we haven't. You have
point.
it, though, yeah. But,
I do have it.
Despicable Me 4.
So my number 8 is Furiosa.
I figured that one would be on your list.
This is the same director has directed all these Mad Max movies, and I really enjoyed Fury Road. And I didn't think the trailer for Furiosa was the best, but I'm optimistic that the movie's going to be good. And I'm a fan of all the Mad Max movies directed by George Miller, and I'm a fan of Anya Taylor-Joy. And so I'm excited to see it. Furiosa, that's my number 8.
And it has Chris Hemsworth with a...
That's the only thing I didn't...
A wicked nose.
That's the only thing I wasn't sure about with the trailer. It just looks like it's kind of goofy.
It's hard
but Fury Road had some goofy stuff in it too.
It was like giving me Thor vibes. Like his silly, goofy... Like his silly Thor side. But anyway, okay. Fair enough. Okay, my number 7 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay. Almost made my list.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoy those movies. I mean, taking it all the way back to the original Planet of the Apes. I just remember watching that probably in high school. I feel like we watched it in high school. You might not have, but I just remember watching it, and
Damn you apes!
I remember that movie for whatever reason, just like messing me up. It was so disturbing to think about.
It's a messed up ending, yeah.
Yeah, it's like so disturbing to think
about. One of the
great
like twist endings. Sorry, I know you don't like me interrupting you. I apologize.
This is my list. It was just crazy for me to think about apes like one day taking over the planet, and then like you said, the ending was just like, what? Oh my god!
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty. It's iconic. It's
mind blown. So anyway, yeah, I think that these are good. And yeah, I'm just interested to see.
The only thing that puts me off about it is War for the Planet of the Apes, because I think this is a continuation of that universe. It had such a definitive ending, and this is a different filmmaker that's making this. So I don't know. It looks good though. Yeah. It looks good. Is this my number 7? Number 7 for me is Civil War, directed by Alex Garland.
Yeah.
I didn't love the trailer. To be honest, I don't really love the premise. I understand it's an election year and they're going to want to get super political with stuff, but I am confident in Alex Garland to be able to pull this off and not make it feel pandering to one side or the other. And he hasn't done a bad movie yet, in my opinion. So I'm excited to see this. Kirsten Dunst is in the movie, so I'm interested.
All right, so my number 6, which I think might surprise you, is The Strangers Chapter 1. I'm not typically like a big horror person, but I, do enjoy the occasional horror movie. Yeah. And so I feel like this one might be a fun one to see. I can't remember when it's coming out, but I feel like it might be fun to see in the theater.
I think it's supposed to be a trilogy, and it's also supposed to be on Netflix as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it'll be something we can watch at home, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, the trilogy makes sense because it's called Chapter 1. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I remember liking the first one when it came out, the original one or whatever.
I don't think I've seen it since it came out.
Oh, yeah. Honest. I mean, I don't remember a ton about it.
And I saw there was a sequel called Strangers Pray at Night that I saw in the theaters. I don't think you ever saw it, though.
Gotcha. But yeah, that's my number 6.
All right. So my number 6 is Gladiator II.
Okay.
Which you already mentioned. And this is kind of like Twisters. I just don't understand how they're going to do a Gladiator 2 because Gladiator is just such like a singular movie with a vision. And it's just such a complete story. I don't know how they can continue that, but I'm interested to see what this is. And Denzel Washington's in the movie, so I mean it's cool. Directed by Ridley Scott, so I'm in.
Yeah, so. Ridley Scott, we're down. Okay, so my number 5 is Civil War, which you already talked about. Pretty much just like what you said, Alex Garland, like anything
Ex Machina, Annihilation, Men.
Yeah. I like you said, I'm very confident in him, and so even if, like you said, the trailer wasn't like amazing or anything, but I just still feel like it's going to be good. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm confident too. So my number 5 is Maxine.
Okay.
So I liked Pearl a lot. I didn't love X, but I am interested in seeing the conclusion to this story.
Okay.
And I've heard that this kind of is like a giallo film. And I like an Italian horror film. I don't think you've seen a giallo film.
The reason why I'll just go ahead and tell you it's not on my list.
But yeah, I'm excited to see the conclusion. I feel like I'm invested in the story.
Okay.
And we'll see where it goes. Hopefully there's some good blood and gore, and I think it might be the only. Have I said a horror movie yet? Yeah, Shelby Oaks, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 4 is Inside Out 2.
Okay.
Got to give the animation some more love. I can't wait till you see the rest of my list. But Inside Out 2, we loved the first Inside Out.
Yeah.
It's a movie about emotions and, like kids, I guess, specifically. It just I don't know what it was. Even you.
It's a movie about leaving your childhood behind. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I continue to struggle with as I grow older. Mm-hmm. You know me, I'm just like a big kid. I can't leave my childhood behind. So
yeah, it's just like a very emotional movie. It does really good at just like pulling those heartstrings. It's one of those animated movies that just does a really good job at bringing the kids and the adults together. Yeah. It's something for everyone, and I'm excited because this one is introducing some new emotions. Riley is a teenager now, and one of them is anxiety, and
yeah.
Even though it's like not funny when you're dealing with anxiety, but I have fairly pretty bad anxiety, and so anyway, I'm kind of looking forward to just seeing that portrayed on screen. So anyway,
I wanted to put it on my list. I really did. Pixar just doesn't have the best track record recently, and with sequels. Like I can't think of a sequel outside the Toy Story movies that has been great from Pixar.
Well, we'll see.
Maybe Incredibles 2. I'm hoping that it's good. I want to like it.
Yeah.
My number 4 is a curveball, and I don't know for sure if this movie's coming out, but it was slated to come out this year.
Okay.
This is Bad Boys 4.
Okay, yeah, I saw
with
that.
Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. I haven't seen a trailer. I haven't seen anything about this.
Well, I think there's
still images or anything.
Yeah, I don't think that it has like a date yet.
I don't even know
something.
if Will has done a movie since the the infamous slap.
Right.
So I don't know what exactly if this is coming out or not.
Was the Emancipation movie before?
I think it was right before.
Okay.
I think it was right before, but. I absolutely loved the last one, Bad Boys for Life. I saw it in the theaters. It was right before the pandemic, and I love this franchise. I've loved the first one since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I want to see a fourth Bad Boys. I love the Bad Boys. What can I say? That's my number 4.
Okay. Okay. So my number 3 is Twisters.
Oh my God, 3.
And this one kind of surprised me that I put it up so high, but it really just has to it's up there just because of pure curiosity, kind of like yours.
Yeah, that's.
I'm
so negative on it, but it's still in my top 10. So.
Yeah, it could be complete crap. It could be very CGI, just not good. But there's a part of me that's I don't know, it could be good. And I do, even though most natural disaster movies are not great. The idea of natural disasters has always
I would argue that all of them in the 90s are great.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's when you get into the CGI stuff, they're just not as good. So yeah, I love natural disaster stuff, even though it does terrify me. I think that's maybe why I do like it. Tornadoes specifically terrify me. I'm scared of storms, tornadoes, all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, I'm very curious about Twisters.
Yeah, I mean, look, I would love the disaster movie to return to form.
Yeah.
Greenland was good. If you're telling me this is the same
true.
Director as Greenland, I'd probably be on board, but it's not. And
yeah, that one was
Bill
a good
Paxton is just is Twister to me. So I can't imagine a Twister movie without him.
Well, we'll see.
My number 3 is Joker 2. And there's a complete title of this, Folie à Deux, I think is how you pronounce it, but I don't know if that's right or not.
Yeah.
But this is the musical Joker.
Yeah.
It's got Lady Gaga, of course, Joaquin Phoenix returning as the character of Joker.
Yeah.
This is another one that I love the first Joker, but I'm just so curious about what this movie is. What's the tone? How's the musical aspect going to factor in?
It's going to be wild.
But I'm looking forward to it, and I can't deny that I'm excited to see it. So it's got to go pretty high up on my list. Number 3, Joker, Folie à Deux.
Okay. What is that anyway? Is that like French?
I think it's French. I don't know.
All right. So my number 2. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
My number 2 is the Garfield movie.
What? What are you talking about? Garfield?
Yeah, the Garfield movie.
I'm sorry. I don't think you're going to get any love in the comments today for the Garfield movie.
I don't
Everybody's
care.
always high on Michelle's list. I don't know.
Listen.
I don't know, baby. I
as you can tell from my list, I do love me some animated movies.
didn't even know there was a Garfield movie. I'm not going to lie.
Come on. Okay, listen. I think that maybe what it is that Chris Pratt is the voice of Garfield.
Oh, God.
He's the voice of Garfield, and, he was the voice of Mario. Mario was, the movie of 2023 for me. It will continue to be
Garfield has such a specific voice, though. It's like,
listen,
I don't know.
He's good at it. Like, you forget that Chris Pratt is funny. Like,
I know he's funny. I watch Parks and Rec. He's good on that show.
Yeah, but he's good with, his voice. Like, he can do different voices. And so, anyway, I have seen the trailer. You probably haven't, since you didn't even know this movie existed, apparently.
I don't know. Is it animated? Is it live action? What is it?
Yes, it's animated.
I just remember the ones with...
I've literally shared posters of this movie.
Was it Breckin Meyer? And I think Jennifer Love Hewitt was in the first one or something. It was live action.
Oh, gosh. I can't remember.
Bill Murray was Garfield, though, in those, I think.
Oh, that's fine.
I think there was 2 of them.
Yeah, this is animated. Like I said, I love me some animated movies. And I think that this will be a good one that we can go see in the theater. We will be seeing it.
Okay. I want a Garfield and Friends live action movie.
And I think that you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
I could be. My number 2, I'm sorry, but my top 3 are all very dark movies. Twisted,
Yay.
demented. My number 2 is Nosferatu, directed by Robert Eggers, who did The Witch, who did The Lighthouse, The
God.
Northman. He's got a 4th movie coming out this year, and it's an adaptation or another. I don't know if Nosferatu was a book or a novel or anything, but it was a movie in the 1920s, so it's a remake of that. And this has got Willem Dafoe in it.
Okay.
I believe it's got Bill Skarsgård in it. And, Nosferatu is a vampire.
I was going to say I have no idea.
And it's Robert Eggers. It's supposed to come out on Christmas Day. So it's still a while away. But I'm excited to see this. It's Robert Eggers, and I love him. When he does these, dark... supernatural tales, it usually works out in all of our favors, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
Your favors.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 1 is no other than Beetlejuice.
Oh my God. You're killing me today.
I mean, what else do you think would be on there? Like, what was left?
Did we make this list before the poster came out? Beetlejuice might have creeped on my list. That could have got the Twister spot of just being really curious.
I'm pretty sure it came out after we made the list. I don't know. I can't remember.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, they did just come out with the poster finally, and it's coming out in September. And, we love Beetlejuice. And, I'll just quickly say, obviously they didn't need to make another one. They didn't, need to do this. But I am excited to just see what it's going to be like. Yeah. And so just remember when we're making these lists, just because...
We don't know anything.
You just had this.
I mean, some of
this
these we
is
got
called
trailers for,
most
not all of them.
anticipated. Obviously that means yes, you're excited, but to me it also just means what are you most intrigued about? What are you eager to see, even if it means bad or good? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't have to mean it's the best of the best, most high quality, whatever. It's
based on how you think you're going to enjoy it, based on what you know about it so far. That's how I make my list. The filmmakers involved, actors, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So Beetlejuice. I'm excited to see what it's going to be like. Yeah. I'm just excited.
Are you ready to hear my number 1?
What is it?
I was really surprised this is my number 1. I knew this movie was coming, but for whatever reason I wasn't super hyped about it until I heard who was directing it, because I didn't know that for some reason.
Okay.
But this is an Alien movie. This is Alien Romulus. And it's directed by Fede Alvarez, who did the Evil Dead 2013 movie.
Okay.
And he also did Don't Breathe. And he's got a pretty good track record. And I feel like if he brings that same Evil Dead 2013 energy to an Alien movie, we could be in for some
Are you talking about like
alien gore? And I love it.
Are you talking about like the Alien movies?
The Alien from 1979, directed by Ridley Scott. The first Alien movie was directed by Ridley Scott.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the two more recent ones, Alien Covenant and
I just didn't know if you meant like Alien that like you know of, or like another Alien movie, like Aliens in space kind of thing.
Yeah, because the last two Alien movies were directed by Ridley Scott. They were not very well received at all. And I believe this is a sequel. I want to say this is a sequel.
Okay.
But yeah, take Alien back to the basics, make it a more, like a horror movie like the first one was. The second one, Aliens by Cameron, is more of an action film. But I'm just excited because he's directing it. Take it back to the basics, make it scary, make the xenomorph scary again. So I'm really excited to see that one. That's my number one, Alien Romulus.
All right. So yeah, there are our top 10 most anticipated list. Definitely excited for the movies that are coming out. Hopefully we can, make it a good year and make it to the theater to see these. And if not, we'll be watching them at home. But, and again, like you said, if some more trailers come out, our list could completely change. We maybe don't even want to see some of these.
There was a big one we didn't even mention, Deadpool 3. And it's just like, I'm just so done with superhero movies.
Oh, yeah. Like
even like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman together, which on paper just sounds super entertaining.
Right.
I couldn't get that on my list because I'm just done with the superhero stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Like, obviously there are
We'll probably go see it or see it at home or something, but
yeah,
I'm just done with it. So it wasn't on there. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people are going to be talking about that probably.
Like Ken said at the beginning of the video, make sure you let us know what you're most excited for this year. And happy movie watching.
Happy movie watching. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.